I think the Zoot, they were one of a kind.
Okay, first, please introduce yourselves.
My name is Mary Esther Baez Rosales. I was born in Mesa and I was raised in Chandler, Arizona. I'm 83 years old.
My name is Joe Rosales. I was born in Tempe, Arizona, and I've lived in Tempe all my life. I'm 79.
Do you know what the Zoot Suit riots were?
Zoot Suit riots were probably during World War II, and it probably originated in California.
Los Angeles.
Do you know like what they were about, like the people involved and things like that?
I don't know if it's just the culture of the Chicano movement in California, but most of them, the Zoot Suiters are almost dressed all alike. But as much as I know about the Zoot Suiters, I know they existed. And there was some here in Arizona too.
I think it was like a movement that was spread, and I think they were trying to stand out, especially in California, because there was a lot of Hispanic people there.
The actual riots were done against the Chicanos who were wearing the Zoot suits because, like you said, it was during World War II where they were rationing clothing. And so, like, by wearing the suits, it was seen as disrespectful. Because of the riot, it was, like, one of the main reasons why the Chicano movement really started. Now, I'm sure you're familiar with the term Chicano, but, like, what does it mean to you?
Chicano means a Mexican American born in the U.S. Zoot Suiters, they didn't call you Chicano, they call you Vato. That was
Their slang.
their slang.
How would you define the Chicano movement when it first started?
Here in Tempe, there wasn't that many conflicts with the Chicanos amongst ourselves, so the Chicano movement was probably more brought into when Cesar Chavez was going into this movement for the labor movement for the farm workers. I met him in Chandler, Arizona when he started the movement in Arizona.
It was right by Grandma's house too, and I went over there. I think the Chicano movement is when people started going out more open. They were more open to their culture. I do remember my two cousins. You should have seen, they got dressed like Zoot Suiters and they had the gold chain and the hat and the loose pants.
There's a little barrio here in Tempe called Victory Acres. We call it the Victory Acres because a lot of the Chicanos were in World War II, and they all established in that little community there.
What do you think its impact?
I don't know if it's the impact, but it's there's still a lot of people that doesn't understand the culture of the Chicanos. There's still a lot of discrimination. A lot of people don't know the culture, the traditions that the Chicanos have. You know, they're passed on from generation to generation. The Chicano movement hopefully will open up a lot of eyes to people that there's a lot of Hispanics here that have contributed to the well-being of the U.S., you know, Arizona.
I think the Chicano movement has helped, has really helped because look at, like your mom, she went to college. Before when I graduated, there was 0 college students that were Hispanic. 0. The counselor even told you, you know, if you get real good at typing, you can get a job as a secretary or get a job at a factory. But no one said, you're smart enough to go to college. They just would look at you and you just weren't college material because you were Hispanic or you were an average student. There was no opening. So yeah, the Chicano movement has opened up a lot of opportunities.